I'm I'm really sort of confused as to what to say on here. I'm sure I'll end up rambling for about 15 minutes anyway. But Ipswich 2, Bristol City 0 is the final score at Portman Road. A obviously incredibly well-oiled Ipswich team with some star quality, very good defence, very powerful, etc. So whatever. But just completely did not get close to Ipswich today, Bristol City, and yeah, that's serious alarm bells, I think. And as well, a case of this team needs serious help, and I think that will be probably the theme of this video, coupled in with some, I think, some comments about the certain individuals defending for certain goals that may or may not have happened. Let's look at the team first of all. Radek Vitek in goal. Tanner, Dickey, Atkinson was the back three. You'll notice a certain Zach Viner missing from that. Mark Sykes and Neto Borges as the wing backs, because talk about Viner. It was Viner in midfield alongside Adam Randall. And guess what happens after 27 minutes? Zach Viner goes off injured, and obviously the front three was Twine, Mehmeti, Reese. Viner got injured, got a knock, got hit, and got treatment a little 5 minutes before that, and then went off injured 5 minutes after, and Morsey came into the team. I was very confused as to why Viner was even starting in midfield. It just didn't make sense, because you're playing against Jens Kiyust and Azor Matasiwa. I mean, come on. I mean, look, Zach Viner's okay in midfield, and he had some decent performances when he was playing there when we really needed him to, but we don't really need him to play there now. I mean, come on. Unless Morsey's got some sort of fitness sort of discrepancies and stuff and some issues and can't play 90 minutes, 3-game week and stuff. Maybe we're hoping to start him against Sheffield Wednesday, possibly. But come on, that just confused me. Let's talk about the goals, and hopefully Zach Viner's fit soon enough, because we need him. We really do need him. Right, let's talk about the goals then. Goal, minute number 8, and this honestly had my head went off to this goal, I think, and it was just so painfully predictable, because you knew exactly what Jack Clarke was going to do once he got on the ball. Jack Clarke got the ball on the left-hand side, left-hand channel, and he's got a little bit of space inside onto his right to exploit with his right foot. What's he going to do? He always cuts inside, and always tries to shoot. That is trademark Jack Clarke. That is the thing he scored loads of goals at Sunderland doing, a couple of goals at Ipswich doing. The one thing Jack Clarke is amazing at, like genuinely world class in terms of cutting inside on his right foot and shooting. And what does George Tanner let him do? Look, Jack Clarke's a fantastic player, brilliant. But what does George Tanner let him do? Literally gives him a gift. It is absolutely amateur defending. It is awful from George Tanner, and you can't tell me he doesn't know that Jack Clarke is going to do that. I mean, the whole championship knows he's going to do that. He gets the ball on the left hand side. He's going to cut. He's going to try and cut inside, and he's going to try and shoot. That is the one thing he's absolutely brilliant at, and Bristol's just let him do it. The second goal, minute number 55, Jack Clarke again. This is his third goal of the season. Against Bristol, he obviously scored the penalty at Ashton Gate in the 1-1 draw early in the season. This is awful from Rob Dickey. I mean, I'd say a little bit of hint of unluckiness, but just generally terrible from Dickey in that moment. O'Shea heads the ball from his own half from the Ipswich centre back, the Ipswich captain. Dickey, it's not a straightforward ball to deal with. It's an awkward ball to deal with, but heads it into no man's land. Yvonne Azon picks it up, and Dickey immediately looks uncomfortable. Not with injury or anything, just looks uncomfortable defending that. Azon puts the ball across. Puts the ball across to Jack Clarke, and Jack Clarke finishes it nicely, sort of thinking off the post, far corner. Vitek, no chance. It's again awful. Bristol City, awful, and we are conceding too many goals. We're way too open, and we concede absolutely ridiculous goals like the ones we did today. And it could have been more. Radek Vitek, who I just mentioned, with one of the most extraordinary saves I think I've ever seen. Wes Burns, obviously former Bristol City, skins Neto Borges for pace, and I felt a bit for Borges there, because Wes Burns is just that quick, isn't he? Nunes plays an unbelievable ball to the Burns possesses the box. Kyrgios with his left foot saved and slash blocked. There's a mixture of both. It falls. Vitek's on the floor. I don't know who the defender is close by. He's on the floor as well. Azon and Kyrgios both on their feet. Azon has got it. He's got a gaping hole in front of him. Hits it with his left foot. Vitek somehow gets a hand to it. It is the most ridiculous, unbelievable save I think I've ever seen. Gets a hand to it and tips it over. I mean, I don't know how the man's done that. And when he inevitably leaves at the end of the season, I'm going to be a heartbroken man, because what a keeper he is! What a keeper he is! And that is one of the most unbelievable saves I think I've ever seen. If you've not watched it, if you've not watched the game, whatever, for whatever reason, do watch that. Do watch that save. That is ridiculous from Radek Vitek. And then second half, obviously, after the goal goes in, Ipswich very comfortable, keep the ball around, move us around, and we just sit there like sitting ducks, like not really doing much. And it was just a bit of a painful end to that game. Didn't come close to Ipswich eventually, and had some half chances. Obviously, Cedric Kipre gives a huge moment away to Emil Rees, who just can't finish, and that's another big problem. Emil Rees obviously scored the hat trick against Watford in the cup, and it's a bit weird of me saying this, but hasn't really been clinical all season, really. And yeah, that should have gone in, and that 1-0 that happens, that should be 1-1, and the game state changes completely from that point. And you never know, you get a bit more confidence, you potentially be a little bit more clinical in the final third. And once again, it's that final third that I'm mentioning. Yet again, the lack of quality in that final third. That's the massive difference between these two teams. I don't think there's a hell of a lot in between from what I've seen today, a lot between these two sides. But that final third was just so stark. The biggest difference of them all. Ipswich had Clark, Nunes, Burns, Azon, and off the bench they had McAteer, Hurst, Smodix, Egerly not used, obviously Chuba Akpom out injured, whereas we've got, I love George Earthy, but didn't make a particularly great impact tonight. Sinclair Armstrong, not the most clinical striker, you'll never know, but you can tell this team needs help in the final third. Went a little bit Irish there for a second. Needs help in the final third. I mean, if there's ever a game, and I said this against Oxford, I'm pretty sure if there's ever a game, just highlight, you just need help with a bit of quality in that department. This is it. I mean, just so poor. The lack of quality, like, is just embarrassing. Like, so bad. And yeah, it's picking wrong pass at the wrong moments. It's the quality of passes in the right moments just not there. And Scott Twine on several occasions again today, and he's a couple of occasions has a chance to put the ball in, good pace, good weightage, and the ball is there, and we're in around the box, and we've got a shooting opportunity or opportunity to put the ball in the box. It just completely overhits it. The lack of quality there from Twine. And unless Mehmeti has the ball in around the box, he's quite ineffective most of the time. In the left hand channel, he's quite effective. But apart from that, it's a little bit of, if we have to feed Mehmeti, and if teams can just sort of neutralise that, we're looking elsewhere and going, where is the threat? Where is the goal coming from? Where's the big chance going to be created from? And that, you're just looking at it and going, that's not enough, is it? We need more. And yeah, news coming out not just a couple of days ago that Bristol moved on to other transfer targets in the final third. Next question of what we've been actually doing, really, in terms of trying to secure a player in that department, because that's been pretty evident. But we need someone there. I don't know. 11th place, Bristol City again, slipped further away from the core pack in the top 6, 3 points off Preston. But forget that, it's just the traffic in between us and Preston at the minute. Derby, Wrexham, Watford, Stoke, all above us, in between us and the top 6. Millwall 6 points above us. Hull 7 points above us. Borough 9 points above us. Forget that, we're not in that conversation, are we? A really terrible night, I think, say for Bristol City, and I'm hoping that's not coming across as overreactionary. And if this is in isolation, away at Ipswich, away at, probably might well be the team that finishes second, maybe even the team that wins the league. You never know. You kind of look at it and you kind of excuse it, fine, whatever. but it's just a general collection of things. 3 games without a goal, toothless in the final third. Such a lack of quality in the final third, and the same old story again. Inability to create chances, and the chances we do create, we can't take them. Yeah, this team needs help. This team desperately needs help, and I am begging, I'm praying that we get something done over the line sooner rather than later, because otherwise this is not going to change, and in fact, it's going to get worse. And I'm still a firm believer this team, this squad, is capable of getting into the top 6, and that forward certainly aid that. Would certainly go a long way in not fixing all the problems, but fixing a lot of the problems. Yeah. Depressing one again, I'm afraid. After the 0-0 draw against Oxford on the weekend, it's a defeat for Bristol City. 3 games without a goal away at Ipswich. Sam Morsey got a nice reception. That was all right, but cares about that if you can't win games, I'm afraid. 2-0 Ipswich is the final result at Portman Road, and I never want to speak that game again.